whatever the drop down we have in a web page, right? And if you want to select the values from the drop down box, you will have to use the select class, right? So handling drop down in your web page can be done using select class. Okay, now so for that, what we will do, we will have to create object of select class. So select and then any object name, let's say drop down equal to new select. Okay, let's take the website for this. So let me go to demo.299.com/test/new tools register.php. Okay, and here I am having one drop down. See, this is the drop down, and I need to select the value from this drop down. Okay, now how will I do? So let's inspect this first. Go to this country field. So wherever there is a drop down in your web page, you will find the tag as select here. So this is the tag. Select is a tag. Okay. And then name of the drop down, that is country. Country is the name of the drop down, right? Size equal to 1, and then closing select tag. Then how many options I have? Options value Albania, then Algeria, then American Samoa, then Andorra, Angola. Likewise, I am having these all. I'm sorry. These all countries here. Okay. I will have to go to this website. So how will I do? Select dd equal to new select, right? And first I will have to locate that drop down, right? So how will I locate the drop down? How will I locate the drop down, guys?
Find elements.
Find elements, right? Find element, no finder.
Find element. Find element. Yeah.
So here I am having name, right? So I can use that's a direct locator. I am having name, right? So I can directly use name. So let's web element. Let's say I'm giving the name is time. T down equal to driver dot find element by dot name, and in name I am giving the name of the drop down, that is my country. Yeah, I have the element located. Okay, now I will pass this locator to this select class. So D down, and then with the help of this I can see the element, I can see the methods here. So there are about select by value. So these are all from select class. Deselect all, deselect by index, deselect by value, deselect by visible text, and get all selected options, get first selected option, get option, get wrapped element. So these are all methods I am having. Is multiple boolean, and then select by index, select by value, select by visible text. So these are all methods I am having. So let me use select by value. Select by value will select value as in the value which is given here, right? So select by value, let's say I am selecting, let's select Iran. Okay, so select by value will select the value Iran. Okay, if I run this code, I will be able to select the value Iran in the drop down. Yeah, can you see Iran is selected here?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if I am looking to select any value using index, so indexing, let's see index, what is, and I can deselect also. So once I selected this, I can deselect also. Deselect by value. So let's say already Iran was selected, then it will deselect this Iran. So deselect by value will deselect. Unsupported operation exception. Okay. Okay, so deselect as in,
Checkbox.
yeah, it's basically for combo box. Combo box. Wherein you have as in like drop down plus multiple selection is available, right?
Right.
Yeah. So sorry about this. So deselect by value will not work here. So let's try with select by visible text this time. So dd dot select by visible text, and this time let me take some visible text from the drop down. Let's say I'm taking Italy this time, and then uh, select by value is done. Now select by visible text. Yeah, so select by visible text is Italy. So Italy was there in that drop down, so I could select the Italy from there. Okay, now next one is select by index. So indexing starts from 0 basically here, right? So if I give index as 0, then my first value will be selected. dd dot select by index. So let's say I'm giving 0. Okay, not 0. Let's say I'm giving 20 here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say I'm giving 5. Okay. Let's see what it displays. Recording start. So let's say this time I'm giving that index 10, and let's see what it selects. Okay, so Aruba, let's see what is the index of Aruba. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so Aruba is at 10th index. Got it? So I have three methods for selecting the elements from drop down. So what I have to do, first I have to locate the drop down using our simple locator strategy, and then I will have to create object of select class, and in that object I will have to pass that web element, okay? Web element or the drop down, and with the select class object I can access the select class method. Okay, so just note down these all, and then I will let you know how to select the multiple elements in a drop down. Okay. In this drop down I can check if this drop down box allows the multiple selection or not. So for that I am having is multiple method. So if the drop down allows multiple selection, it will return me true. If this drop down does not allow the multiple selection, it will return me false, and it is giving the boolean result, right? So you can see this boolean here, right? Is multiple in select, whether this select element supports selecting multiple option at same time. This is done by checking the value of multiple attribute. Okay, if I put this under CISO, I should get false because this drop down does not allow selection of multiple values, right? Let's run this and see. Yeah, so I'm getting false here because it did not allow selection of multiple values. Okay, now let's talk about that later. Now I will tell you how to select multiple elements. For that I will use this website, https jsbin.com osebed/2. Okay, so here I am having one box which can select the multiple values. Okay, now let's inspect this first. Inspect this drop down first. So I can see the select multiple ID equal to fruits. So this is the ID of my drop down. Okay, so now tell me how will I select the element from this drop down, guys? Okay, I am just navigating to this website, and now I want to select let's see three items from this drop down. How will I do that? Can someone tell me how will I do that?
Dot find element.
Find element by dot what? I am having ID here, right? Fruits.
Yeah, ID fruits.
Chitara, is it correct?
Yep.
By dot ID, and then with an ID I am giving the ID of that drop down, and then now I will have to create select class object, right? Okay, and that I will have to pass this web element as a constructor.
DD.
Okay, and now with SC I can first check is multiple, whether this drop down can select multiple values or not. Okay, so CISO is multiple. Okay, and then SC dot select by, this time let's say I'm taking value I am having, let's say I'm taking orange. Okay, and then SC select by visible text, that let's say I'm taking grape. sc dot select by index. So index, let's say I'm taking orange and grape I have already taken. So let's say I'm taking 0 index. Okay, and then let's see if it works fine or not.
It only returned output for each multiple, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. So what it's saying, cannot look at option with value orange. It did not find orange. Let's see. Okay, it was in small. Okay, that's the reason it could not find. I kept it. O was there in the small letter. Let me check grape also. So, grape. Grape is anyways the visible text, right? Visible text is G, capital G R A P. So let's run this now. It should work this time. Okay. Yeah. So I could select 3 values here. First orange, then grape, and then banana. Okay. Let's say I want to deselect values from here now. So sc dot deselect all will deselect all values. Okay, let's try this first. See, first it was selected and then it was deselected immediately after that. Did you observe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Let's say this time I am deselecting sc dot deselect by index. So index of, what is the index of orange? 0 1 2. So 2. Then sc dot deselect by value. Value, let's say I'm giving grape here. So index value and visible text. Sc dot deselect by visible text, and this time I am giving banana. Okay. So yeah, so all 3 values were selected first and all 3 values were deselected first. Deselected after that. And likewise I am having sc dot select all method also. Select all. Okay, select all is not there, but get all selected options I can get. Please select to get options. Okay. So how to get all the values from drop down? So for that we have one method called get options, and this returns the list of web element. Okay. List of web element. Okay, then let's say here I am saving list. and I can count how many elements are there, and then I can iterate them also. So let's go back to our previous example. And name equal to country. Okay, now with this list, how can I iterate them? I want to print all the elements from that drop down. How can I iterate them?
Can use for each loop.
For each loop. Okay, can you tell me? Okay, first I want to know how many options are there in that drop down. So for that, what I have to do?
System.out.println, we can give list.
List dot
Uh,
list dot length or list dot size.
Size.
Side.
Yeah, size will give me how many elements I am having.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I want to iterate them. Okay, I want to print them. So first way is to printing the list directly, right? I can print the list directly. And second way is to use the for each loop. So let's try this first. And okay, so see 264. Oh, and I am not getting the proper names. It's just I am getting the ID. Okay. So Chrome driver, Chrome on Windows, and then ID. Okay, so this list is not printing the proper name. I will have to iterate them using for loop. For web element e colon list.
List.
So e dot get text. I will have to get the text of that. This is not text, right? It is giving the ID actually. So I will have to get the text of that. And let's here ln should be there. Okay. Got it. So I am getting the list of all 264 countries. So Tara, is this code understandable to you?
Yes.
Okay. So if I am printing directly list, it is giving the ID of that element, right? And I want to get the text of that. So I will have to use get text method. E dot get text. It returns a string. Okay. Now there are two more methods which I think you can explore further. So sc dot get first selected option and get all selected option. So first selected option will give the option which is selected first in that drop down. Okay, for that you can use the multiple select wala drop down, and then you can try this. And then get all selected option will give whatever the option are selected in that list will give the list for that. Okay, making sense? You will be able to do this, right?
Yes, Nathan.